What is up, guys? I am Jordan, or JKU390, and today we are going to be editing some footage in Sony Vegas. The video we are going to be doing today is Halo Reach Part 6. So, to start out, the first thing I do whenever we record this, obviously it was me and two other members of True Friends Gaming, Matt and Ricardo, or Upside Down Grunt and Raconius. And we play a match in Halo Reach, obviously. I have all of us having our audio recorded through OBS, which is actually what I'm using right now. Usually if we're doing an LP, we'd all use our own separate Audacity tracks, but just to make this easier, because Matt didn't have a mic at the time or even a computer, I had to record his audio, so I just recorded Ricardo's with it. So we use this, OBS, which is what I'm using right now to capture the video. Obviously, as you can see there, it's going to be, not the full 720, but it's going to have the whole screen, the whole monitor in there. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this again. But basically, this is what I use to capture our audio. So this right here is our audio track. So we're recorded, I think that was parts 3 through 6 right here. And obviously I have to find a good starting point for part 6, so it'll probably start like right in here, but I don't know yet. We're going to do all of that while we edit this. This will obviously come out after part 6, but if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you do, because this video will probably contain spoilers, because I will be editing the video in this. So, and I might jump around to like even the end, so feel free to watch it first if you haven't. Now, assuming you've watched it or just don't care and just want to see me do this or whatever, I'm basically just going to edit the way I do, the way I've always done it. I don't have any special teaching or anything like that. I'm just kind of do what I think works when I think it works. So, this audio track will be moved, by the way. But right now, the first thing we're going to do is actually sync up the video tracks. So we have 3 video tracks here. After we play, I have Ricardo and Matt both go into their theater mode and save the match after we played it. And then I download it off of their file share, and I just sit there and basically wait for my capture card, which is a Hopog Gaming Cap 2 if you're curious. I use that and let it do all the crap it needs to do and capture all the footage. And I just kind of sit there and watch it and make sure everything works. It's a boring process, and I make sure to do all of them that way, including my own. I record it after we're done playing, because it will, if there's any lag or anything like that, in theater mode it just cuts it out. It's like if you play a custom game where you're able to actually pause it because you're the only player. You can be playing for 20 minutes, like a match can go for 20 minutes, but if you pause it for 17 of those 20 minutes, then the match will only be 3 minutes long. So it cuts out pauses, glitch, anything like that, and it just makes it look clean and crisp. So I record my footage afterwards as well, just to make sure everything is on par in terms of time. Now then, there's a bunch of ways you can sync up videos. Mine is at the top, so the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and mark everybody's videos. There's mine. Here's Matt's. How do I know it's Matt's? Because I always have it in the same order, which is the order people join, so I'm always usually first, then Matt, and then Ricardo. So if you solo it, you'll see that's mine. You can tell right here because I play as a purple Spartan, purple with green secondary color. And you got my arrow next to it. You go to the next one. That's Matt. He plays as teal. And last but not least, you have Matt. Or Ricardo. And there we go. Now, I probably need to add Ricardo's name, by the way. The audios don't really matter right now. In fact, you can mute all of the audio tracks. That, and that. Actually, no, we're going to keep them on because I'm going to show different ways you can sync up video. So what I'm actually going to mute is this audio track. Now, there's a few ways you can sync everything up. Obviously, right here, there's going to be some similar audio patterns you can see, which are probably guns and rifles. These parts might be the announcer voice, like the guy that says double kill, triple kill, Slayer, game over, time, 10 minutes, all that stuff. So that's probably what all these are, since it's appearing on all of our tracks. You can sync it up that way if you want. You can sync it up by going to the timer right here, which is actually harder to see right now than usual. I'm going to make the video track a little bit bigger. Bring it over a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit harder to see, but that might just be the motion blur. There we go. So 10 minutes. Zoom in a lot. Here's how I usually do it. So on my screen, which is this one right here, I want to see where it changes from 59 to 58. There it was. 59, 58. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, so you just have to trust my word that that's 59, that's 58. So the last 59, I'm going to hit the S key, which is split. I use a lot of hotkeys, so I'm just going to try and remember to tell you guys. And actually, if I really wanted to, I can just delete everything prior to that. And don't worry, I'll bring it back. That's just, again, for syncing purpose. So it starts on 59, goes to 58. Now I'm going to mute or solo Matt's screen. Here's where it changes. It's hard to see. I had to actually move my head over because of the teleporter, but 59, 58. So the last second of 59, hit that, bring this back. Now my and Matt's video are, for the most part, synced. Now there will be latency or issues, I'm sure, because Matt plays in the UK, and you can never be too sure that that's going to stay together the entire time. That's just how it works, no matter what you do, even with the theater mode and the way I do it. But nonetheless, in my opinion, it's still the best way to go about doing everything. So now we're going to go to Ricardo's screen, which is here. Alright, so that's the last second of 59 right here. Or last second of 59, the last, I guess, millisecond of 59. So, yeah. And there, now, in a perfect world, everything is synced. So, all the audios, for the most part, should be pretty synced up if you hear shots and stuff. Like that. The sniper, how it kind of had that weird, almost robotic sound like this. You can hear the layers of sniper rifle on top of one another. That's a good thing. That means that the sniper sound is pretty much in sync. Now you can go through and look at every level and make sure everything is synced up. For the most part, it actually does look it already, but go to something like... Ooh, that looks bad. Right here where Ricardo shoots Matt. Matt's foot's flying off the ground. I see Matt's foot flying off the ground, and what does Matt have? Matt's foot is coming off the ground. Look, we're synced. The video is now pretty much together. Now we're going to move on to the next step, which is grabbing this video track, and this video track. Now, before I start this, actually, what I'm going to do is multicam editing. But if you want to edit it this way, the way it's set up right now, you can. Just go through and find which bits you like the best. Cut it. Like, say I want to start with my screen, and say right here I want to cut to Matt's. And I can just go S, move it over, hit S on Matt's, and bring it up, and it would switch to Matt's screen during that gap. But the way I still prefer to do it is I grab all of those 3 video tracks like I did, and I hit Tools, go to Multicam, and create a multicam track. Now from there, we're going to... Actually, what I probably should have done first is undo that. Actually, there's a few things we probably should do first. Undo split. But I want to bring back all that part I cut out. You can start the video wherever, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to bring this back till I see the little gray arrow, which I actually passed. It's right here. Zooming in on it. This little thing right there, if you can tell. But there we go. Nope, maybe not. There we go. And if everything's perfect, which it's not, that's where everybody else should start. It's not going to, because you just start recordings at different times. That's just how it works. There. Now I need to sync up this audio. So unmute that and solo that audio. All the other audio is completely unnecessary right now. Now normally we do like a clap sync or something, but because this is one straight recording, it doesn't really work that way. So you're going to be hearing us talking, but I just got to find a good point to find out where to start the actual audio.
All of the armor
Alright, so this
abilities.
is the remake of Ascension. So as me saying this is the remake of Ascension, which means we've probably already seen it unless I looked it up. So bring it back a little bit.
Let's see. Just looking at all the all of the armor
Alright, so this
abilities.
is the remake of Ascension. So he's looking at the armor ability, so we are starting the match, I guess.
That's right. Yeah. I got first strike.
I know. Alright, Ricardo got first strike, so that gives us a little bit better idea. Right now, nobody has a kill, so we're gonna have to move it over a little bit. Move it over a lot more, maybe. Alright, it's where Ricardo took the lead.
I got
Oh, don't know how that happened. There we go.
I got first strike.
I know, I shot Matt right when you shot Matt, and you got the kill.
Oh. No, you didn't.
Alright, so that should make it a little bit easier. Ricardo died, so he'll be like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Usually one of the best times for me to find these are whenever I melee, because a lot of times when I hit people, I go, nyeh, when I hit the B button. So it's actually synced with my hit. Alright, so right here is probably where we'll start the video. Control S to, or Control A to select all of the tracks, Control S, or just S, sorry, to hit split. Then hit the bottom of this track, go up to the top, hold the shift key, hit here, hit delete, and I got rid of everything. Control A, grab everything, slide it over to where I want to start, which will be right here because I still need to put the intro and whatever. But I do that last. Now, if that was confusing, sorry. Basically just select everything, hit the S key to split, or probably edit, maybe. Yeah, right here, split. I'll go somewhere so you can actually see it. There you go. Make sure you hit that, and then delete whatever you don't want. Now then, that audio is still muted, because I want this audio to be muted. I want it to stay muted. That's a good thing, because it's too loud. And we're going to be moving all those audio tracks eventually too. So now what we're going to do is grab our 3 video tracks, like I was going to do earlier. Go to Multicamera, create the multicam track, and now Tools, Multicamera, enable multicam editing. Now if you do it right, all 3 tracks will appear right here. Now you can switch between whose track you see multiple ways. And you can do it while the video is playing. You can, like if I want to switch to Matt's, just click on it.
Just looking
Or
at all
mine.
the
And see now the video. Well, my computer's starting to load, or having some trouble, but anyway, sorry about that. I had to check my encoding levels. Now, you can see where I put those splits, where it switches between my screen and Matt's screen. But I obviously don't want to make those random splits there, because that doesn't make any sense at all. So what I'm going to do is undo that. You can hit here or Control Z, you know, like on most products. So I think it's Control Shift Z for redo. Okay, Control Y as well. So opposed to the usual Control X. Now, you can also just hit the number keys. It shows the number right here associated. So 1 is my screen, 2 is Matt's screen, and 3 is Ricardo's screen. Luckily, because I named all the videos, you can see our names applied to all of them if you don't know which is which. But I've always got the same setup, so I always know who is who. There's 8 members, and it always goes me, Kevin, Kirk, Matt, Tyler, Kyle, Alex, and Ricardo. Now then, gonna start playing. So, you'll be hearing multiple me's, so if that confuses you, I apologize in advance. But I'll just start on my screen, because am I the first that talks whenever we actually have gameplay? I don't know.
let's see.
Actually, I might be, because Ricardo ends up getting the first kill, but I don't think he actually sees me get the shot off on him, on Matt, and I talk about it, so I think I should include that.
Let's see. Just looking at all the all of the armor
Alright, so this is the remake of
abilities.
Ascension. Now, the video is a little choppy for me right now because I'm also, recording. So you can hit this, go to best and change it to auto, or you can change it to good audio or good video, preview video, draft video. Auto is usually the best one to go with on any of them, but I'm just going to go to best and then audio or auto. You'll see the names get bigger. I don't know why it does that, but you'll definitely see a decrease in video, but that's only for the edit, not for the final product, so don't worry.
Let's see. Just looking at all of the all of the armor
Alright, so this is the remake of
abilities.
Ascension.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
From Halo 2.
AKA the best map.
It is a pretty good map.
I got first strike.
I know. So let's go
Yeah,
back
pretty
for
good
that.
map.
Because there's that big fight that goes on. Let's watch
Okay,
Ricardo's
best
perspective. It is a pretty good map. Yeah, you don't really see me shoot. Well, you do, but not as well.
AKA
But what I can do is actually start it on Ricardo's screen, which again, press the 3 key. play.
Let's see.
Hear
Just
that
looking
laugh
at all
again.
the all of the armor
Alright, so this is the remake of
abilities.
Ascension. It is a pretty good map. Now then, I'm actually going to pause it. Obviously, it jumped back because I forgot to click on the screen where I wanted it to stop, but that's okay. I will go to... Alright, there we go. That's when he's about to shoot him. So, we get to see Ricardo have his sweep miss, then jump back and show my screen. Actually, what am I even looking at? Alright, then it'll cut to mine. So now we have this. I'll start further ahead because, oops, that makes more sense. Now, even after I'm done with the video, I still have quite a few more things to do. I have to position all the audio tracks, which actually I should probably start doing now. So what I usually do for this is I group all three of these audio tracks with holding shift and, like I start on the first one, hold shift, and then click the bottom one. Not the voice track, just the in-game sounds. And then I go to group. So I create new, and then all I have to do is click on one of them. And every time I make a cut, I also hit S. Not sure what it just tried to do there. Okay, I guess it just deleted everything. Sweet. There we go. There. Okay, now everything, those three audio tracks are split at the video. And that's going to help later whenever we take out the audio parts that we don't need, because we're only going to want to associate the audio with the video. And then from that, it'll help whenever we put in the nameplates up at the top left where it says Jordan, Matt, and Ricardo, or JKU, Upside Down Grunt, and Podconius, or Ricconius, or Braconius, or whatever name he's going by at the time. So now we are going to continue from here where it's looking at my perspective.
I got first strike.
I know, I shot Matt right when you shot Matt, and you got the kill.
Oh. No, you didn't.
Yeah. I should probably pause whenever I'm talking. So what I was saying is I can just stay on my screen because nothing else is really happening besides the battles with me. And I mean, since I've been winning them anyway, I won't have to switch back and forth between all the different perspectives, so people will just keep seeing the sniper shots. Because that's usually what people want to see. And of course, I'm not always going to stay on the victor, because that's just going to show everything that's going to happen, so we'll just see what happens. It'll probably be once I have my next death. That's usually whenever I switch off. I like to switch off on people during deaths or the next fight. So like if Matt and Ricardo have a battle, then I'll switch over to one of them.
Strike.
I know, I shot Matt right when you shot Matt. Alright, so the first one I did whenever I popped up and shot was just to scare you, and then I was going to pop up and... Yeah. Oh! I didn't think I was going to get you with that one. It was actually the first one I did whenever I popped up and shot was just to scare you, and then I was going to pop up and try and actually just take down your shield. I'll let Matt finish you off.
No, why?
Too bad you didn't.
Good point.
Oh crap. I'm really bad at snipes because I don't have really good snipes. BTS.
Ah, I was trying to get my... Alright, so right there is when Matt shoots me. So what I can actually probably do... And you'll notice he's like stupid quiet right now. I mean, I can boost certain parts of the audio frequency if I really want, but there's not really much I can do besides that. I mean, Matt just kind of is talking to himself most of the time anyway, so people might notice it, but it's not going to be anything too vital, so I usually just kind of leave it whenever he does stuff like that. So I run up, and I saw Matt just missed me there, but it didn't really matter. Alright, so yeah, that's where Matt gets the kill. So now I can switch over to Matt's perspective, which is here. Grab the audio, S. So now I got that. Ah, I was trying to get my shields back up. And now we'll stick on
I
Matt.
just love my blue visor.
Alright, so here's where I go after Ricardo. And if I remember right, a not at all embarrassing foot or feet on my part.
Alphabet too.
Darn it. Yeah. Alright, so because I'm doing something stupid, I'll probably switch back to my footage again. Because, I mean, what's better, watching Ricardo be blind and not know I'm there, even though I'm right here on his motion tracker? Or watching me fail a bunch? So we're both failing, but I think mine's a lot more of a fail. So let's watch that.
Alphabet too.
Darn it.
Hey, dude!
Yeah, it's
I didn't even know you were behind me. No, that's not fair.
I know. How did I miss that many shots? Now, I won that fight, so I can actually just stay on my screen, because if I went over to Ricardo's, he'd just be dead. If I went to Matt's, who's actually might be about to shoot me...
That's not fair.
I know. How did I miss... No.
That's not fair.
I know. How did I miss that many shots? That was terrible. I shot like 26 times.
That's not what I meant.
So sometimes like this, I might switch over to Matt's just because it's a different perspective. So...
That's not what I meant.
I couldn't tell if I saw him there or not. See, because then it's one of those weird things where your mind fills in the gaps. So, like, I'll run by, I'll see Matt over there, and then your viewers' minds will be like, oh, there was the other guy. And then whenever I switch to his screen, they're like, okay, so now we're just seeing the other perspective, and you don't really think about it. Your mind just fills in the gap for you. It's weird. So, yeah, so let's see, I move across. Now I will switch to Matt, make a split in the audio track, and continue. Now what I'm actually probably going to do is I'm going to cut the video here and then come back once I get everything else done, because once I start editing it myself, stuff will get done a lot quicker. Alright, we are back, and here is the, I can't say final product, but a bit closer than we were whenever I last left off. I did all the cutting and stuff I needed to do. Now then, time for the next step, which is finding the proper audio and removing it. So what we're going to do now is hold shift on the very first piece of audio. I go top left, and then hold shift and click bottom right. Now we selected the entire audio track, not the talking audio track, but the game audio track. Right click on any part of it, hit group, and remove from. Now that group is gone, the one we made earlier, to make it easier to cut everything. You could also do the same thing with an audio bus, but we don't need to worry about that. Anyway, now the trick is to make sure you cut everybody's audio except for whose perspective we're seeing. So we start on Ricardo. The third is Ricardo, second is Matt, and this is me. To give you guys a better visual aid, we'll just be... I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but we'll just say Jordan, Matt, and Ricardo. Now, you can know whose perspective you're seeing, obviously, because there's a big blue line around it. Or you can see by who, like the little arrow on the bottom right. But from the way I've got this size right now, I wouldn't advise doing it that way. Just do it with the blue. So we're starting with Ricardo, so we're just going to delete my and Matt's. Next, and you just got to do this for the whole thing. It's a little tedious, but it's not super bad. Like that movie, Lion King. I love Lion King. Good movie. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you've seen Lion King. If not, why are you watching this when you could be watching The Lion King? And I'm not talking about Lion King 1.5, or Lion King 2, or Simba's Pride, I think, or the Timon and Pumbaa show, or even Lion Guard. I'm talking about the original Lion King. After you watch the original Lion King, then watch Simba's Pride 1.5 and Lion Guard. Anyway, enough about, Disney. And I was hoping I could rant more, but I know I'm going to end up messing up if I keep doing that. And every now and then you might want to look and make sure, you don't have any transitions here that you just forgot to change, like I've done before. So all of a sudden it's still Ricardo's audio, because that's going to be important in a minute, but so far I think I've got it. If not, the final product's going to mess up, but whatever. It should be. I think it's fine. I'll make sure to look it over before I actually render everything. But this is basically, I don't want to call it a rough draft, because this pretty much is going to be the final product, but I'll still give it one more go over after I finish this video. See, so Matt had a pretty long piece there. No, it's all his, because it's the whole part that's highlighted. Alright. It's Ricardo's again. Ricardo usually gets the most amount of airtime on these. I try and give him, like, if nothing happens, I try and slide him, like, his perspective in there a lot. But usually, since he's get the lowest, not just the lowest kills, but he also doesn't have, I don't want to say he has the least amount of deaths, because he still has a few, but he doesn't see as much action as Matt and I. Matt and I end up fighting a lot more than Ricardo. So, a lot more than not, it's going to be on Matt or my perspective. Anyway, that aside, it's still fun. It's the more people we have, the better. It would make it harder at times, I'll be honest, to switch between the stuff, but I actually do wish we had a lot more people playing this. Like, if we could do a game with the rest of TFG, maybe not all 8 of us. If we did, maybe it'd be a 4-on-4 or something, and both teams would have a perspective in their own voice chat. That'd be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, but anything like that, I think that'd be really cool. But even if we could do a 8-person free-for-all, it'd probably still be fun. It might be hectic in the audio. We'd probably all have to record our own, and, you know, I'd end up making it sound all fancy, make it sound a little bit nicer, not like this audio. It's more of a impromptu type video, not as much of a standard Let's Play, if you will. Alright, so that's all of our audio tracks. Now, that's everything cut up a little bit more. So now the next step we're going to do is I'll go ahead and do it this way. Tools, Multicam, click Enable Editing once again, and now we have everybody's perspectives, like the actual product. Now, here's the next step. We're going to insert a video track right here at the top. Perfect. I always start with mine because, again, it's just the order I do things is always the most founding member to newest member. Obviously, I just say that in the most complex way. Anyway, then I go to video effect, or even media generator, or yeah, media generators. Legacy text, I go to default text. Now, my personal favorite is right there. I don't even know. Constantia, I guess, maybe. Somebody quote me on that. Or, you know, don't if I'm wrong. Now, I usually bring the size to about 28 for Halo. It depends on the game, but usually for this it works for that. Now, my color in TFG is dark green, so I usually just kind of go around in here. That's usually the color I go with, about there. Effects. Now, you can turn these on, but to save myself some time, here's what I do. I click on the arrow, which automatically checks it, drag it down to the dark black color, click off. Now I've got an outline that makes my name easier to see, especially if there's like green grass. It helps a lot in Minecraft. Now for draw shadow, instead of clicking anything, I just grab this and drag it all the way to the left, which now you see it darkens it a little bit on the side. You can also be like, boop, but I don't want to do that. Now, my placement. I always grab it, bring it up here. There we go. I just look at this whenever I'm moving it. I don't even worry about what's on here. I worry about what I see here. And now, shrink it a little bit. I will copy, so, you know, have it selected, Control-C. And now anywhere I see my track, we're going to place it. So Control-V, click OK. There we go. It wasn't wanting to select for some reason, but we're good now. And you just keep doing this. This is going to be all of the JKU footage, or the Jordan footage, or whatever you want to refer to me as. Colonel Sanders left elbow, whatever, I don't really care. I wonder if that username's taken. If not, if you're watching this, you should, and you don't have a YouTube channel, you should make one called Colonel Sanders left elbow, and then subscribe. You don't have to subscribe to us, just subscribe to something. And this should be the last of mine. Not to be confused with The Last of Us, which, as we all know, is the greatest of Nintendo games. Everyone loves Last of Us on the Nintendo 64, also known as Mario Kart 64. Alright, now, I don't even know what I'm talking about. What I need to do now is go to Matt's nameplates. So, create a new copy. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and make the first Ricardo one as well, because they all have to be slightly moved. And my name is the good middle ground because it's the middle amount of letters. Matt's is going to go one way and Ricardo's the other. So what I do is go Ricardo. His actually is placed pretty alright, but I like to have the same amount of space, or at least look like it between. I think I done goofed. Ricardo. And now placement, and I'm going to bring the x-axis over to Tony. Oh, actually, I probably need to go the other way, don't I? That'd make more sense. I'm going to bring it over to negative 0.780. There we go. Now his color in the group, to poor Tyler's dismay, is pink. And that's always the color I go with for the pink for him, but I'll bring that over here. And not worry about that right now. Now I'm going to make Matt's, because then I'm going to do all of his crap. There you go. And I probably should. There we go. Placement. Actually, I should probably change the name first. Gotta be smart. Now, placement. Now this one gets to be 820. Let's see how that looks. Okay. 850. Actually, that might be about it. Yeah, it works. All right. Now then, we're going to change his color to cyan or teal. Usually about this color. Let's drag it up a little bit. Right about there. I think that's around the color I usually use. Hit that. Control C. Now Matt's name is selected for all the placements. So put it there. Next Matt. And continue this trend. Just like all the cool kids do. Following the trends. Don't be like me. Ignoring the trends. People always say, always be yourself. But then they always have their double negatives. They're like, but you always need to be confident. It's like, yeah, but I'm not a confident person. So do you want me to be confident or do you want me to be myself? You need to make up your mind. I don't need your crappy double standards telling me how to live my life. Be like, oh, always be yourself, but be what people want you to be. How about be what you want to be? And rather than be yourself, focus on bettering yourself. And by bettering, I mean make yourself better in your eyes, not other people's eyes. Because other people's eyes are probably wrong. They don't know what's best for you. Your eyes know what's best for you. It's all in the eye of the beholder, right? Well, you're the one holding on to yourself, so you worry about what your eyes see in you. If you don't like something about yourself, and I don't mean like, oh, I'm ugly, everybody hates me. That's bullcrap. Get some new clothes. Get a haircut. Get a gym membership. Are you like 13 years old and can't do any of that? Then it probably won't matter anyway. You're going to get to that age where you're like 17 and you're like, what happened? I'm gorgeous now. And you'll be like a Nickelodeon or Disney celebrity or whatever. Your day will come. And people will love you. You just need to love yourself first. Now moving on to Ricardo's. Same Control V, placement, blah, blah, blah. I don't know I went on a motivational speech thing there. But it is true. You don't want to worry about making yourself out to be what the rest of the world is like. Oh, you need to follow these social norms and be like this. I mean, obviously, I'm not telling you don't go out and freaking murder somebody. Jesus Christ, you know. But you don't need to be like freaking Joe Schmo. You can't just average guy and or gal, of course. But I don't know. Usually, it's compared to a dude going out and you gotta go to school. You gotta work in a restaurant when you're in high school, like a fast food place, while you're in high school, and then you go to college, and then you end up working in an office. People don't all have the same job. That's boring. Anyway, that part's done. I got all the plates in. So now there is one more major thing I like to do visually, and that is going well, actually I'm just gonna do it this way. Video effects, I go to sharpen. Now you are going to notice a major difference in how this game looks whenever you sharpen it. I'll go to a nice place, maybe someplace where he's not getting shot. There, now we can see all the cool stuff. Look at the gun detail, the mini-map, the mountains, everything. I'm going to put a heavy sharpen on there, on this track. Now watch it change. For bam, look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? That versus that. There's the original game. That's Halo Reach. That's what it looks like. Doesn't it look like garbage? Look at that motion blur. Put on the sharpen. Wham! Whoa! Look at that. It looks great. And the worst part with that motion blur, there's not even any motion going on. That's just blur. They're like, we need Gaussian everywhere to make it look nice. Don't worry about that crap. Sharpen that crap. It doesn't actually have to be 750. That's actually quite a bit, but I'm just going to leave it on that because. And obviously don't just go and throw that on every game. It won't look good on some games, but this, it definitely looks nice. Like, even look at that grass. Let's take it off on that grass. Not on Ricardo's, on the actual VFX track. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. I was in the wrong one. Turn that off. Look at that grass. Looks like crap. Turn it on. Oh, bam! Oh my god! It's like I'm in the woods. Or, you know, a field. where it's easier to see grass without giant effing trees. But I digress. Now it's time to move on to the final thing that we always have to have in our videos, the intro and outro that Ricardo so graciously created for us. Great artist, that Ricardo fella. Alright, so I put the video up here. The audio is going to drop down. And just delete this. Delete track. Now, I put it on this one because if I put it down one, it's going to get that effect on it. See, the sharpen. And it just doesn't look as good with that. So I'm going to put that there. Going to go to the end. And I always want them to be 10 seconds long, the end card. And because it's 5 seconds whenever you post a picture or whatever, I just post 2 of them. And then I always, at the end of a video, I already kind of did it at the audio. I think, yeah, I already put a fade. I always put a 30, well, I guess it's a full second is probably what it is, fade. So I bring this over, and it's a crossfade is what it is. You can do it a multitude of ways, but here's the way I do it. Just bring that over to where it says 1, 0, see it goes 0.25, 0.26, 27, 28, 29, 1. I do it there, and I put 1 here. And then it will fade out. Well, it won't very well whenever the quality is being pooped because I'm recording, but you got to trust me on that one. It'll look a lot better whenever you have the final product. And then at the end, I do it one more time. And then, of course, you have to put the annotations at the end. And that's the worst part of making these videos is stupid annotations. They take forever. They're like an unnecessary chore. Now, the final thing we have to do is put in the game audio. So we are going to unsolo the voice chat. We're going to group all 3 of these. And this one. And we're going to turn everything the F down.
Let's see.
Start at a place where there's guns and stuff, like here.
Lost the lead.
I got first.
So it's pretty loud.
No, you didn't.
So we're going to grab the volume slider and bring those the F down. Now let's see what it sounds like.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I apologize for that. My headphones tried to die on me. Now. Also, I want to bring this down. I don't want this here. I want it to be in the talking chat part. And then I manually bring this down. So about here. Just perfect. Now that part, the green, I hate when it does that, and you can't really do much about it. But it's fine. Now, oh right, I was bringing down the audio tracks on everything. So let's see what it sounds like here.
Oh god!
Just gonna...
I just see your crotch.
Yeah.
Just like.
And actually, I think this is pretty good. I mean, actually, I have to turn it down a lot more when there's stuff like assault rifles because they're just so freaking loud. Nice grenade. Nice snipe.
Stop trading.
Is that a headshot?
Yeah.
I just want to listen around to different spots. Wow, I flew away.
Nice little place to meet and have.
Pretty good shot on you. And once you like your product, you're going to render it. So you want to select everything. I just kind of click somewhere and double click. There's these 2 lines. Bring it all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Now I'm going to click here, zoom in, make sure to get that. Now, that's where that stops freaking the F out. I'm going to put a fade there. See how that looks?
Let's see.
Looks
Just
good
looking
enough.
at all the.
Now, I mean, for the most part, this is our video. This is the final product. That's what it's going to look like. So if you went through and followed all of these steps, you owe me any money you made from the video because you stole my method. No. Hopefully you learned something. More importantly, hopefully the people in TFG learned something. If I didn't mention before, this is Sony Vegas 12 is what I'm using to edit this. And we recorded that in OBS, and then I took it from an OBS file, made it just audio only, and then edited it again in Audacity. Actually, you know what?
No, you didn't.
I think Ricardo's right. I don't think I did. I think that's the wrong audio file. Give me 1 second. Now, here is the real audio file. I did put in the wrong one. So, how do we fix this, you ask? You're like, Jordan, in all of your expertise, is there a way to fix this problem that even you can solve? And yeah, it's pretty easy. I just bring the audio out to where it ends right here. Naturally, it usually let me click on the thing. There we go. Now it's synced.
Let's see. Just looking at all the...
Alright, so we're going to bring this back. We're going to delete that audio track. Bring this clean one up, the one that doesn't have the static, that I fixed in Audacity.
Just looking at all the... all of the armor
Alright, so and it's got boosted audio. But now it actually sounds like it's supposed to. I like how I'm screwing around.
Yeah.
And then was there anything? Ricardo's still doing... That was fun. I'm gonna go ahead and end this here.
Don't be a jerk. Oh, look, I got first try.
Alright, yeah, nothing else there, so bring the audio over a little bit. Put a sweet fade in it. Since we stopped talking like all the way back here, you can go ahead and just drag that thing all the way over. So any little pieces of audio and clicks and beeps and whistles and whatever else will just slowly fade out, and it'll make it more natural whenever it goes to the fade out screen. So here we go.
Like I saw
the
it in
end.
like super slow-mo.
Oh crap. And that, make sure, yeah, and that is the end of our video. I also see where I made a mistake with the fade. Something that, again, I would have noticed when I went back, but there we go. So that's what I did wrong with these. I can be a dingus sometimes. Now let's see how this looks with the fade.
Let's see. Just looking at all the all of the armor
Alright, so this is the remake
abilities.
and that's the video. So once you're done with that, you're going to go up to File. You are going to Render As. You're going to pick whatever file type you like. I go to Main Concept, AVC, AAC, MP4, and AVC. And I always just go at 720p because, first off, I record at 720p. And second off, that it's an Xbox 360 game on the Xbox 360, which is 720p. Through my TV, it's technically going at 1080, but it's not. The game isn't actually playing at 1080. So rather than giving you a stretched 1080 and being like, look guys, the video's in 1080, and people being like, oh yeah, it's in 1080, I put it in 720, and then people are like, oh, it's not in 1080, dumb. But in reality, it's kind of the same thing. Now, obviously, if you can argue that it is different, but it's more of a stretch than anything. So I just have it go to 720, and then to make it look a little bit nicer, I put that sharpen on there for people that do want the video to look nicer. Plus, I think it looks nice, right? And then you name it, and you render it. Once you, of course, make sure you put the yellow lines around it, which I haven't done yet. So I'm going to, well, I did, but then I had to switch out the audio. And there is episode 6 of Halo Reach, multiplayer with Matt, Ricardo, and myself, Jordan. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you have any suggestions for me personally on how to improve mine, because I'm self-taught, I never looked up any tutorials on this. I just do everything my own way. If you can tell me a way to make it where I can put in the nameplates and the videos together in Sony Vegas in the multicam editor and actually have those together, then please also let me know that. But anything else, let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, everybody, later.